Hey, it's your girl Kat, and I'm back. Today, I want to share with you guys or talk to you guys about being alone during this time, during this current pandemic, and how the enemy tries to attack our minds. Um, and I'm coming to you because this is one of the things that I have battled with since we've been on this current lockdown. And before I even jump into what I want to talk about, let me put this disclaimer out there. You guys know, or I have shared numerous numbers of times, that my entire purpose for my channel is just to encourage. I am not a pastor. I am not a therapist. I am not anything with legal ABCs, XYZs behind my name other than what I have for my career in global supply chain. So any other than that, you cannot take anything that I say and I guess try to apply with some kind of legality to it. And only reason I said that, I don't even know if that part need to be in there. I just want you to say these are my true life experiences, and like I've said before, a lot of my videos are here to help me to see how far I've grown, vice versa, and in my growth, hopefully I can inspire others. Whether you agree or disagree, that's completely up to you. If you don't agree, no problem. Like I always say, you have to do what's best for you. So, moving forward, jumping into some of the things I want to talk about, and I may look down some because I did try to make some notes. And I guess I should start off by saying what it is that has brought me to this particular point in time and why I want to share this with you. So, just to be an open book, I find myself, as I'm sitting here in this apartment, alone, and as I come to the realization that I have the perfect setup for the enemy's battleground. And the reason I say that is because the enemy comes for only negative reasons. That's to rob, kill, steal, and destroy. He wants to rob you of your happiness and your joy. He wants to kill whatever self-esteem or whatever it is that you have. He wants to diminish you and possibly even convert you. I don't want to say possibly. That's 9 times out of 10 his actual purpose. So I'm sitting here during this time, and I feel myself, I was going through this low point, didn't understand. I began to become somewhat a little negative, although I'm one of these people. I can be by myself. I can be alone. I am actually comfortable right now during this time. I am okay. I'm okay with being by myself. And I guess that's that introvert part of me, and I'm a loner, and I even before all this started, when I did want to go out, I could date myself. I don't have to be with anybody, I could take myself to the movies, I could take myself out to eat, I could do whatever. So anyway, long story short, I just found myself, there are some days where I don't want to be, by myself. And that's with anybody, too much of a good thing can not be healthy for you. And the fact that we are, told, I think now we're able to get out a little more. They're opening the cities and stuff back up, but still just being cautious and stuff like that. One thing, being told you can't do something makes you want to do that something even more, even when it's not in your, it's not your ideal thing to do anyway. If it's a beautiful day, here, and normally I'll be like, it's Saturday, I don't want to do nothing, I'm gonna just sit, chill, and just enjoy the moment. But when they tell you can't go, now all of a sudden, why I can't go? I can go if I want to, that type of attitude. Anyway, getting back to where I was going with this, I found myself slipping into this. I don't want to say funk. I'm not even sure what to call it because I don't really want to give it a name because I don't want to claim anything in my life. But I found myself at this at a point where I was really feeling some type of way, and I felt like my speech and stuff had started changing, and whatever I thought is what it is, oh, I think they don't, they don't now care about me because I had to spend Mother's Day alone. My kids are in total different cities and things like that, and the enemy wants to play on your mind. Oh, nobody cares. And I even found myself writing things in my journal, and I have some upcoming event I'm going to be attending or going to, that it's like, oh, you're not going to be good enough, and stuff like that. And I was giving into that. Then I also found myself, it was starting to get hard to get out of bed. And I'm one of these people who's been very blessed to still be able to work and receive a paycheck on a regular basis because I have to work from home for my job. So I find myself on days I'm having to get up for work, it's like I'm real sluggish and, having to force myself out of bed. I'm also one of these people who usually like to work out, and I can't blame this on the pandemic because I could tell this has been happening in my life over the course of the past couple of years, but pushing myself even more to get out and exercise, because at one point, and those who know me, that was my thing. I even became a personal trainer for that reason, to help others. But even that I started slipping away from that, and it became even worse during this pandemic, when I couldn't go to the gym or can't get into a fitness center or can't go, to a park that I would normally go to, and having to come up with things here in my apartment and not having my equipment here because I moved from another state and all my things are in another area. It was like I just became a hermit, a recluse, or whatever to say, and all of that was weighing on me. And being in that state of mind during this time is perfect. It's the perfect setup for the enemy to take hold of you. And if we're not careful and wise enough, he can really do damage. This is the setup or the making for, those who are, not in a certain mindset to where they are strong enough to fight against him. Those that are already dealing with depression, those that are already, on medication for certain ailments, or I want to say diseases, but mental illness. This is the perfect setup for that. And I just want to, for one, I am definitely going to add these groups to my prayers, because not only are we should be covering our medical personnel and our emergency workers and things like that are out there on the front line of this pandemic. We need to pray for the sick and the shut-in as well, for those grandparents and stuff that are in nursing homes where their families can't come visit them. This mental thing can be damaging. And I think for me, I had to catch myself, and I think it's because what got me to this point and helped me to, I don't want to say snap out of it, but it like snapped me back into realization, and I'm so grateful for it, is that I also had built up a routine in the mornings. Before I would get out of bed, I would turn on, either YouTube with Joyce Myers, and let, the ministry or the word, or I'll find some type of scripture that is, playing, because just so I could start hearing it, and it helps get my mind right and get me motivated and ready for the day. And as I'm getting out of bed and doing my morning routine, feeding the dog, getting my coffee, brushing my teeth, washing my face, getting ready to log in, read some, get a little bit of the word, but just having that there, in the first thing before my feet hit the ground, turn that on, just to, one, it provides another voice in the room. Two, it's a voice or something that's giving me what thus says the Lord. and it's helping me, since as being here without anyone, just yourself and a dog. I think for me it could be is it was even more so, I don't want to say traumatizing, but hurtful, that I'm in a state where I came to be with someone and that didn't work out. It is what it is. And instead of me leaving, God had another plan for me. And I think he has me here. And I don't want to say I think so, because he's doing some tremendous things in my life during this time. And I have grown so much closer to him during this time. He has opened so many doors, and he provided so much for me to even be here right now. So I know it is him. I will have to share that entire story with you another day. But getting back to what I was talking about, the fact that I am here with no one, no friends or family in this state with me, is just that much harder when you're on lockdown. But like I said, I am okay. But I did find myself slipping into this, and I think, by this walk or this journey that I'm taking with God has helped me to be able to rebound. And I'm glad I didn't slip into a serious state of depression where I was just, some depression can be crippling. So anyway, I just want, saying all that to say, I heard Joyce Myers when she was speaking on, of course, she wrote a very popular book, Battlefield of the Mind, which I have also ordered that. But not letting the enemy take control, and how we can control our own thoughts. And I'm like, how do you control your thoughts? And basically I just started doing that, because the enemy was starting to really play tricks on me, where he would, using this time, and all I have, like I said, all I have is me, myself, and I, and what's going on in this head of mine, and using, when it comes to my kids, and guilt and anger, frustration, the loss of my old job and how I loved it, and trying to release the guy who caused those problems in my life. And I can't just blame it on him, because nothing has happened to me that God has not allowed. So God has done great things for me. Sometimes we have to, he has, even when we won't leave ourselves, he has to put the situation there so we can't be pushed out, so he can do what he needs to do. And I hope you understand what I mean by that. But basically, what I've been getting out of this experience that I'm having with this battlefield of my mind, is that we need to guard our minds and our thoughts, and we need to attack those thoughts as soon as they come into our head. We can't not see, say, oh, look, we can't see a stop sign and see it as a red stop sign and then just unsee it. If you saw it, you saw it, So I can't, if I saw it and I saw it clearly, I remember exactly what it looked like. I remember the trees hanging around, whatever was around at that time, I saw it. Now, what I do from that point is up to me. So, and that's the same thing with our thoughts and our mindset. As we have to recognize the enemy and his tactics. And like I said, for me, he would use my job, he would use my kids, he would use the fact that I do desire companionship, and I just told you guys why I came to this state and what happened since I've been here. And the enemy wants to use those things. He wants to use certain things that in my past that I felt guilty about, that I've already asked God for forgiveness of. So there's a difference between guilt and condemnation. And Joyce also spoke on that. And one of the ministers the minister of the church that I've been attending since I've been here, spoke on that this week. So it was like, okay, Father, I hear you. I hear you. I can't let the enemy guilt me out of something God has not condemned me for. God, if God is convicting me for something, he will make a way of escape, and I can ask for forgiveness, and he will. He is the one that can forgive and forget. He will forgive you and, go on your merry way. But then the enemy wants to continue to remind us that we messed up, or that we did something wrong, or that we did, you could have did this, or you could have did that. We have to just be very careful during this time. And I won't say just this time, anytime, but I think more so even now for those who are single or alone or living alone, who can't go out to, can't reach your relatives, or don't have anyone that's connected to you. We have to really be mindful of our thoughts and recognizing the enemy and his tactics, because that old saying, an idle mind is a devil's workshop, is real. It is very real. And, I am a firm believer that, the enemy finds those very little things that can hurt us so bad, even though we've either been forgiven or not forgiven. Because there are some things that, we have done or heard or said to people, and we love those individuals, and they have not forgiven us, and it still hurts. But the enemy you've asked for forgiveness, you've asked God for forgiveness, but they don't want to forgive. You have to accept that, and the enemy will use that. And it's just another example of how he can come and try to destroy us. So anyway, I just want us to just be careful, because especially when it comes, like, for companionship in this instance, when God has delivered you from something, don't let this time try to seep in on you and you try to step in and help God out to take away your anxieties or your pain. Continue to lean on him. Find that scripture, find that verse, find that minister, find somebody you are following, that can encourage you. Reach out to someone on the phone. Do whatever it is you have to do to keep yourself sane, because this is one of the things that, prisons do to their prisoners when they want to punish them, and they sit them in these, I'm not speaking from experience, but but they put them in isolation and sometimes leave them for, days, weeks, months. I don't know, but that's what it's meant to be. Is if sometimes isolation can be there to protect you. But while you're there, you have to have some type of freedom, or some type of, get out and get the vitamin D from the world, from the sunlight or whatever, so you don't feel so closed in. But if you are shut in and not really getting out and, having that, that what's the word I'm looking for? Fellowship, companionship, whatever, with other people, you may feel like you're lacking in something. So I don't want to make this video too long, because I feel like I'm rambling and I had a lot I wanted to say, but I just really wanted to encourage you guys, because this is a very trying time for a lot of us, like I said, the grandparents or the parents that are away and can't see their kids, and whatever the case may be, whatever your situation is that has you unable to fellowship and have congregate with your team, your people, whoever they may be, because some people, your team ain't your family, and it is what it is. And I don't want to go off on a tangent on that, but I do want to encourage you that if you have been delivered from something or someone, and the enemy is trying to use that against you right now to try to get you to do or say some things that you shouldn't be doing or saying, recognize that tactic, and especially to anybody that has been in any type of mentally abusive, physically abusive, any type of mental abusive relationships like that. If God has delivered you from those things, please, my brother, my sister, please do not lower yourself to go back into something like that for just the time it's this, because you feel a certain way. I know you guys may have heard this before as well, but the heart can be very deceptive. You know, I can truly say that I can truly say that I've experienced it both ways. Having someone love me and me not care back for them, that's another subject in and of itself. And then having loved someone and having them not love me back. So deception and then, you know, being in a situation where I'm like, I would never be in a situation like that, and ending up in one. So when God really has delivered you from something, and that is, do not, my sister, my brother, do not repeat that cycle. Do not open that door for just the time as this. You know, do not. Pray about that thing. And my email will be listed in the comments. I do not mind sending a prayer. I will pray. I'm continuously praying. And, you know, I know we're all not perfect, and some of you may have already slipped up and, you know, invited that enemy or that thing back into your life. Whether it's a person, place, thing. Some people have addictions. And if you've been delivered, please, my brother, my sister, please don't let this time steer you in the wrong direction. I'm not gonna, like I said, I've been trying to end this message already, so I'm not one to, like I say, speak long, but I just wanted to share that with you. Recognize the hands of the enemy. Know that this time is a perfect battlefield for him, and he is going to take every ounce or every inch he can get to try to win you over or take you back from where you've already been delivered. Do not let him do that. Whom the Son has set free is free indeed. You do not have to go back to that. No, you have to know that you know that, you know, you are stronger than you think. You are stronger than you think. I just want to encourage you to tap into your own power prayerfully with God in hand, and go, you know, lean into him. Because I don't want to say okay, let me take that back. I don't want to say tap into your own power, because sometimes we can be weak in our own self when we try to do it on our own. We need to tap into the strength of God and let him elevate that. You know, don't think, oh, I'm just too weak. Is what I'm trying to say is, don't let your mind tell you what you can't do, because you can do all things through Christ who strengthens you. His word says, in all our ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. He didn't say in some of our ways, in most of our ways, in just this particular way, in that particular way. No, he said, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. If you truly believe that, because that's where it starts. You have to believe it. If you don't believe it, none of this matters. What I'm saying, you throw it all out the door. Because if you don't believe it, you're not gonna. It's just a no-win battle, or you are going to do it in your own, try to do it in your own strength, and that victory is going to be so, you might win, but so short-lived, so to say, in so many ways. You know, you may win the actual battle but lose the war, because you may have won it in, you know, a not so conducive way, or you physically won it with what you could see, physically touch or feel, but then when you get back home you feel emotionally drained, so it's not really a true win. Anyway, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct our path. That's all I kind of want to share with you guys, is please be mindful, guard your hearts, know that this time right now is the perfect time for the enemy to step in, and we have to be vigilant. We have to have discernment, and that's my prayer for you today, to be vigilant. Practice discernment, and ask God to cover you and keep you. And if you're not with that or don't agree, please disregard, move on, and do not plug in negative comments. If you're not a true believer, I will delete them. I probably will not, you know, express anything from towards them. This is only for those who desire that encouragement. And that's all I wanted to give you for now. I will probably be back later, but do know that I love and care for you, and I'm grateful to have you here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you can. If not, no worries, because like I said, this journey is basically for me, and hopefully to share it with you and encourage you. And if it does encourage you, you will do whatever is placed up, God places upon your heart. Otherwise, it's okay. That's all I have for you right now. Smooches. Bye.